Hey everyone, Hans here, hope everyone's doing well. Today I wanted to make a video about venting, and the the reason why perhaps is because I've seen it a lot lately. People just in their anger just letting it all out. And while it is, I suppose, better than keeping it contained within yourself, I have to wonder, how do you vent it? I see many good people, some I consider even friends, who are frustrated with society around them, the setup of things, the mistreatment of Europeans, that is to say, white people, Hyperboreans, what have you, misrepresented or always depicted as the bad guy in culture, if for what still passes as culture, all of that stuff, and the gradual erasure of of all that is essentially European at heart. And yeah, I get it. I understand that a lot of people are angry because of this. But then the question is, how do you deal with that anger? And there are many ways. What I see most commonly is that with this anger, those who choose to be angry rather than just mope and get depressed and all of that nonsense, they start shouting. They start shouting, they may even start doing something self-destructive, drinking, act obnoxiously towards others, hurt others for no good reason. People who have nothing to do with it, white or non-white, and all of that stuff. And keep on bringing up things from the past over and over, but there is never any improvement. There's never everything that gets made. And actually I shouldn't say that, because there are plenty still who do handle it in a healthy way. But yeah, how does that venting take place? Aside from just going wah, letting the animal out, so to say. The other way is to let that anger become a focus rather than a distraction. And how do you make that a point of focus? Well, you start thinking about it. Why am I actually really angry? I'm hurt. I feel, and feeling is okay. That's the realm of anger, partially. It's like I'm hurt. I feel rejected. I feel silenced. I feel mistreated. And then you have to go that step further. Still, why do I feel rejected? Why do I feel mistreated? Why do I feel silenced? And whichever reason it is, I cannot say that for anyone else. It's not a thing. I know why I have cause to be angry. But that's why I express it in my own ways. We'll get into that in a bit. But then to vent it with the skill sets that you have, rather than just shouting and nothing ever getting done. Because many people, if they really are honest with themselves, they have to admit to themselves, the last 5 or 6 whatever years it's gonna be, they've been doing nothing but shouting. And then they feel great, then they feel good, satisfied for another 5 minutes, and then the rest of the day they're just mildly frustrated. The next day, rinse, repeat. Nothing ever gets resolved. Just more of the same over and over and over. Others have seen this phenomenon too, but it has barely been addressed at all, because I'm the first one that I know of who really speaks about it in this manner. You have to think to yourself, okay, anecdotally, my cause for anger. Well, the restrictions put on us, that's an easy one that we all experience, right? Having to wear this muzzle, can't expose your face in public, You have to constantly watch your back, and who around you can you still trust? Well, do I now start shouting at everyone? And granted, I have my moments where I just need to go out and I just need to exercise or whatever it's going to be to work through, I suppose, the emotions of it all. But then after that, I calm down and I think, now what can I do? These videos are just one example. I can also talk with others. Who agrees with me? Who disagrees? And that tells me who I can keep close and who I cannot trust to do the right thing. Which people are brave? I can look for those. And brave in the sense of this case of being able to say, yeah, even if the illness is a real thing, I'll take the risk, it's fine. I'll still live my life on the terms I want to. It's bravery. Those people are the ones I want around me. That opens up room now for me to at least have a few hours each day that there is this group of people that I can go to, and all the virus nonsense is just not a part of it at all. Plus, I'm not a doctor, don't listen to me when it comes to this virus stuff. Listen to the supposed experts, the experts, and all of that nonsense, right? YouTube and CNN and all of that other shit. Now I have less, and while I still am angry at, what you might say society at large for giving in, or many who do, while they actually don't want to, which is even worse. Now I can go to those people and no interference of anyone at all, and I'm still alive. Been like this for months now. Maybe another example on how to deal with anger. Learning how to vocally defend yourself. I've had a conversation, well, if that's what you can call it, movie that someone showed me. I think it was Ike, the antlered one. He showed me a movie and it depicts a myth. I'm not gonna name the movie because I don't want it to get any attention. And it showed a myth, a Celtic mythology, and the main character was a non-white fella. Now that is white erasure. Mythical white erasure in this case. I suppose also culturally, if you want to add the what is it called? The movie aspect of it. So I wanted to leave comments, another way to, I suppose, vent. I left a comment underneath a trailer of this movie, or one of the many trailers, and basically I state, yeah, this is white erasure, and not even that subtle. That aggravated one of these scumbags who want to hurt white people. Started ranting about all kinds of nonsense. Basically lure me into a rabbit hole to chase him into. Someone who is in his blind anger still will follow that guy straight where he wants to, when he wants to be followed. And start discussing all kinds of minute points that have no bearing on reality even. But I vented myself vocally, not emotionally. And I managed to pluck out elements of his arguments that now exposed him as someone that has malicious intent towards, well, Europeans. Maybe even the English specifically, or whatever it's going to be, it doesn't matter. Well, English, Spanish, French, German. And By doing so, others started seeing that. I've received other comments then. Hey, that makes sense. I have never thought of it that way. White erasure, that's a good term to use. No, but what, and the scumbag didn't even use the usual slurs that they have, right? Because he knows that he was dealing with someone that had just exposed him already. I quit his banter and I opened up a new conversation. Why are whiteys being mistreated? That's how it turns into a social discussion, or a public discussion, I suppose. And by doing that, if enough people do that, now we're going to see change. At the very least, we're going to see less enthusiasm to the modern culture that wants to hurt us, that makes us angry. Thus, there will be less reason to feel angry. Although then again, for all the misdeeds done so far, you can be angry your entire life. But you can at least work on some points, right? And you're angry because you're a decent person, but that's not enough. And being angry by itself is also not enough. You're angry because you're a decent person. You're not a decent person because you're angry. If that makes sense. Something to think about. Anger can be blinding. Most emotion can, actually. Haven't we seen that already? Those who act solely on emotion, how devoid of reality they are. Do you really want, I guess I get a bit personal with you or watching, but do you really want to be that yourself? Maybe you already have chosen not to be. Maybe you are wiser. Good on you. Those who haven't. Talking to you too. And it's not about feeling better than anyone else. No, it's just the reality of things. To do what is right. That is what counts in the end of the day. And that's, it's sometimes that is hard work. Now granted, I give you a few examples from my personal life, I suppose. And it may seem small, but these are just pebbles of other things I'm doing, right? And there are people who are far more capable than me, still wrapped up in that anger prison that is their mind. Walk out of it. Try. That anger can be used for so much good. It really can. It's only a negative emotion if you let it be. If you let it run off with you. And actually this is also something for young guys, maybe also for young girls. If you're looking for a good partner, emotional self-control, self-discipline if you will, that is a trait that attracts mates. It really does. That's a little bit of a personal advantage you may get out of it. What's his name again? Marcus Aurelius, with his Stoicism philosophy. I haven't looked into too detailed, but I think it comes down to the same thing, predominantly. It's not that you need to be stone cold. No, you just need to be a master of your emotions. I guess I'm making the same case. Maybe from a less ancient perspective, but so be it. I still think what I say is something that needs to be heard by many. So yeah, anger. You may be a decent person, you may feel it because you're a decent person, but you're not gonna stay that decent person if you let it control you. So tame that beast. and then yeah, you'll feel better. You will, and you'll do better things. And how you're going to do that? Well, you're your own person. I'm not here to tell you what you have to do. I can only hope that people listen to this who feel angry and maybe even feel completely engulfed in it, and then come to the decision, yeah, maybe there must be a better way. And there is. Or disagree, I suppose. That's up to you. I've never asked for anything else but to have, I suppose, people's ears for a while, and then for them to do as they see fit. And yeah, maybe for the last minute or so, again, if you're a good writer, do it with your writing skills. If you're a good speaker, do it with your speaking skills. If you're a good barber, do it with your hair cutting skills. If you're a good gardener, do it with your gardening skills. And be creative. Be creative and you'll get more joy out of life. And think about your influence on others. I think that's very important. That you can influence others in a healthy way. That you can bring happiness. That you can bring happiness. And happy people are more energetic. They are more, tend to be a bit more optimistic towards the future. And if enough people do that, and you have a sort of an escalation effect, like a ripple effect. You know, from 1 comes 2, comes 4, comes 8, whatever. Before you know it, you have entire countries that are ready to do the right thing by themselves again. Entire populations, I should say, not countries. Regain their self-respect, actually notice that, hey, we're not bad guys at all, look at all the joy that we spread. It's up to you. Be the hero you're meant to be. And with that said, you all have a good one and bye-bye.